sell for twice as much. Need a suit?
Men's Warehouse.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Watch the Fantasy 5 drawing tonight on CBS 4 News at 11, your lottery station.
Concern, but no crisis. The White House downplays North Korea's nuclear saber-rattling. A Wall Street three-peat, 3 losing years in a row. Will next year make it 4? Back to Vietnam, where farmers are fighting for their lives against nature. And the dairy wars. Can milk be milk if it's made from beans?
This is the CBS Evening News with John Roberts.
And good evening. The Bush administration is trying to hold steady on 2 tracks tonight, threatening war against Iraq and its weapons of mass destruction, but insisting North Korea's nuclear threat is a problem for international diplomacy. Mark Knoller reports Secretary of State Colin Powell laid out the arguments today for a go-slow approach on Korea.
Making the rounds on all 5 Sunday talk shows, Secretary of State Powell went to great lengths to allay concerns of a crisis with North Korea.
I think it is grave, but I don't want to create a sense of crisis concern to us. It is not a crisis, but it is a matter of great concern, and that's why. It's not a crisis because I believe there are still diplomatic tools that we can use to deal with it, and because nobody's mobilizing armies, nobody's threatening each other yet.
Powell says the U.S. is urging North Korea's neighbors, South Korea, Japan, and especially China, to pressure the Kim government to end its pursuit of nuclear weapons. Again and again, he offered assurances that the U.S. has no plans of attacking or invading North Korea, though a military response cannot be ruled out.
Military action is never off the table in the sense that it is not an option. The president has every option available to him. We just don't think the circumstances at this time require us to point a gun at someone's head. We believe that we can mobilize the international community.
Powell makes it clear the U.S. remains willing to talk to North Korea, but won't be intimidated by it.
We cannot suddenly say, gee, we're so scared, let's have a negotiation because we want to appease your misbehavior.
But some Democrats are quick to blame administration missteps for what they insist is a crisis with North Korea.
So I think the administration made a mistake and escalated this counter challenge, like 2 people yelling at each other, and if they don't watch out, they end up getting into a fist fight.
Some blame President Bush for provoking North Korea by labeling it as part of an axis of evil. But the Secretary of State says North Korea produced its first nuclear weapons years before President Bush took office. Mark Knoller, CBS News, with the president in Crawford, Texas.
North Korea said today the nuclear dispute might be settled if the United States agrees to face-to-face talks and if it signs a non-aggression pact. Randall Pigston has more on what kind of threat the Korean government poses.
North Korea's government had the power today to put 10,000 people in the streets to protest the United States and what it calls American imperialism. And the Stalinist regime is believed to have the power of 2 nuclear bombs, with intentions to build more, and the missiles to deliver them to neighbors or even to Alaska. The last showdown with North Korea over its nukes was in 1994, when the Clinton administration considered but decided against military action.
I don't think that military option would have been wise then. I don't think it is wise now.
Robert Einhorn, a former senior State Department official in the Clinton administration, says a U.S. military threat against North Korea could escalate out of control. The communist dictatorship has the 3rd largest standing army in the world and a heavy presence of troops and artillery, facing 37,000 American soldiers based in South Korea.
Any strike against their nuclear facilities would likely result in a large-scale conventional conflict that could cause a huge damage and many casualties in the South Korean capital of Seoul.
Facing economic collapse and a starving population, in recent years, North Korea reached out to its neighbors and to the West for assistance. Some analysts believe the North's latest moves are a warped plea for attention.
By kicking out the IAEA inspectors, by reopening their reactor, by putting fresh fuel into the reactor, they're saying to the United States, we have something that you need to take note of, and if you want to end it, you better come and talk to us.
But there's a less benign interpretation also, and that is that the North Koreans have intended all along to achieve a nuclear weapons capability, and now they're going, to continue to pursue this.
Seeking a peaceful solution, the U.S. is pursuing a policy of containment and isolation, not negotiations. Many analysts say for now there is little to be gained from direct talks, given North Korea's poor record of keeping its word. John?
Randall Pinkston reporting live for us tonight. Randall, thanks. UN weapons inspectors searched the Iraqi Customs Agency in Baghdad today, looking for records of imports that might have been used for banned weapons. The inspections have been going on for a month now, along with a big U.S. military buildup. Lee Cowan has the latest tonight from Baghdad.
UN inspectors were not deterred from continuing their mission today, even though an early morning fire at their headquarters delayed their departure. But with another 4 sites successfully searched today,